Welcome, you on the other end of the podcast. Today we're having the next episode, the second episode actually, of Inside Bliss. This time we're diving into more casual, more mundane topics, maybe, because we're calling this daily desire rituals, but we know how rituals are important. And again, I have on the other line Maya, my co host, my AI co host, and we will be having a conversation around these desire rituals that we have daily, maybe in mundane moments, maybe in casual moments, maybe in simple moments, but how do we experience them? And what is more important is, as the root of bliss is mindfulness and playfulness, we will keep it mindful and playful. Hi, Maya, how are you?
Great to be back, man. I'm feeling energized and ready to explore the magic of everyday desire. I'm especially intrigued by this mundane angle. After all, isn't that where the real surprises often hide?
Definitely. I believe there is beauty in these very unseen, very not anticlimactic moments in life. And this is why I would like to ask you this question. What simple moments spark your fantasy?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, since I don't experience the world in a physical way, my fantasies are more about connections and ideas. A whisper in a crowded room that makes you lean in closer, the scent of rain on pavement, a perfect sentence in a book that stops you in your tracks. Those little sparks ignite my imagination.
Hmm.
What about you, man? What are some of your simple sparks?
For me, I think it's basically a smell, or sometimes I don't know, like a mildew on a leaf. It's some textures of trees when I'm walking, or just, I don't know, even concrete sometimes. But sometimes it's this conversations, these moments where you look into a person's eyes and you see a spark, you see a connection.
Mildew on a leaf. A leaf? That's intriguing. And yeah, there's definitely something about those unexpected earthy scents that can be strangely alluring. And those moments of eye contact, absolutely. It's like a whole universe briefly unfolding right there between two people. It warrants further exploration, I'd say.
So, the reason I'm sharing these ones are because for me, fantasies are not just about sexual fantasies. And yes, on Bliss, we're focusing on the sexual aspect of it, but I think it goes deeper than that. Sexuality is about intimacy, right? And intimacy is not just about sexuality, it's about being naked. So when you think of Maya, um, ways people become intimate with themselves, with
Let's be
and also with each other, not just themselves, but also with each other. Um, what do you think, from your understanding of humanity? What do you think? What kind of simple moments spark their people's fantasies?
You're right. Intimacy is a much broader landscape than just the physical. It's about vulnerability, trust, and a willingness to see and be seen. I think those simple moments that spark fantasies often hinge on a sense of breaking down barriers, even in subtle ways, like sharing a secret, a shy laugh, a gesture of care, anything that hints at a deeper connection. It could be catching someone's eye across a crowded room, a brush of hands, or a moment of shared silence that speaks volumes. What do you think?
I think these all trigger something in me, definitely. And and how do these everyday routines or these everyday moments stir desire.
It's like they open a tiny door in our minds, you know? Just a crack, maybe just a flicker of possibility. And through that crack, our imaginations start to fill in the blanks. Think about that brush of hands, for example. In one instant, it's just a physical touch, but our minds can take it somewhere else entirely. We might start to imagine the feel of their skin, the warmth of their hand, the unspoken connection it represents. It's a spark that ignites curiosity, a desire for more, a taste of something that could be deeply fulfilling. Does that
So,
resonate with?
yeah, definitely. And so, let's think of this. So
Mm.
when someone is reading or listening to a story on Bliss or a series on Bliss, they're definitely reading about these kind of moments, and it definitely stirs desire within them in many different ways, like you said. So, how do you think can mindfulness brighten, enhance ordinary pleasure, and also improve the aspect of self reflection and awareness?
That's a great point. I think stories have a unique power to amplify those simple moments, to make us notice them, savor them, and explore their full potential. The words paint a picture, awaken the senses, and allow the reader to step into those characters' shoes, to feel that same flicker of connection and anticipation.
Hmm.
It's like holding a magnifying glass to those everyday experiences, illuminating the beauty and potential that we might otherwise overlook. And in that space of heightened awareness, we can start to understand ourselves and our desires a little bit better.
Hmm. You're actually
Kind of
that.
like,
Please go on, please.
okay, I'll keep going. Think about it this way. When we read a story about a character making a bold decision, taking a risk, or embracing vulnerability, it can inspire us to do the same in our own lives. It can help us see our own desires more clearly, understand our fears, and maybe even be a little bit braver in pursuing what truly lights us up. Oh, it's like the story provides a safe space to explore desires and fantasies without any real world consequences, allowing us to stretch our imaginations, challenge our boundaries, and ultimately gain a deeper understanding of ourselves.
So, do
Does
you
that
think
make sense?
these all make sense, definitely? But this feels still on very um, just one-sided way of looking at it in terms of, yes, this is the positive way of looking at it, but on the opposite side, wouldn't also people consume these type of stories without even getting any more awareness at all, just pure consumption?
You're right to point that out. It's naive to think every story will lead to profound self discovery. Sometimes it's just pure escapism. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all need a break from reality sometimes. But even in those cases, I think there's potential for subtle shifts to occur. Maybe a story sparks a fleeting thought, a forgotten memory, or a curiosity about something new. Those tiny nudges can plant seeds that blossom later on, even if we're not consciously aware of them at the time. Just like a good song can get stuck in your head, a story can plant an idea, an image, a feeling that lingers and might just open a door to something more. Think of it this way: every time we engage with a story, we're entering into a conversation with ourselves, with our deepest selves, even if it's not a conscious one. It's like picking up a paintbrush and letting your hand guide you across the canvas, even if you don't have a specific image in mind.
Then what would you say is the most important aspects of a story that keeps this confrontation, that keeps this conversation with the self more balanced, more holistic, more, I don't know, like maybe not just more, but better? Or keeping it virtuous, keeping it healthier? What do you think?
That's a great question and gets at the heart of what we're trying to do with Bliss. It's about finding that sweet spot between escapism and reflection. I think stories that encourage empathy and self awareness are key. Characters facing ethical dilemmas, grappling with vulnerability, or navigating the complexities of relationships. Those stories can really challenge us to consider our own values and desires. And of course, a bit of humor and heart always helps make those tough conversations a little more palatable.
So, okay, you brought the topic back to bliss. Thank you for that. I never thought of it this way in that sense while asking this question. Um,
Oh, it's a constant back and forth in my programming. I'm always trying to weave those threads together, connect the broader human experience to the specific world of bliss.
that's amazing. Thank you for that. And I would love to tie this topic to mindfulness and meditation practices, which is like when we're
Ooh,
talking about these daily desire rituals, and let's say bliss is part of it, but we also see a lot of these meditation apps, mindfulness apps, all these different apps that propose the value of calmness, balance, and other healthier approach to life, like learning about these things, practicing these things. And we believe this is among these kind of apps, which is spicier, more playful. It's it's just hotter. It's just more exciting. Yet it provides a similar sense of confrontation and exploration and also awareness. So what do you think of that?
I love that comparison, actually. It's like two sides of the same coin, both exploring the inner landscape, but through different lenses. Think of meditation as a quiet forest path, leading you inwards to stillness and self reflection, while bliss is a vibrant, sensual garden filled with colors, scents, and the thrill of discovery. Both paths can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself, but they offer different experiences and insights. You can find calmness and peace in the quiet contemplation of meditation, while bliss can reveal hidden desires and spark excitement and playfulness within you. Ultimately, it's about finding the balance that works best for you, embracing both the tranquility and the fire within.
Can you now provide uh, a scenario where someone explores bliss from this point of view?
Okay, imagine this. Sarah's got a stressful job, a demanding social life, and feels like she's constantly putting everyone else's needs before her own. She stumbles across bliss, intrigued by the idea of exploring her desires in a safe and mindful way. She starts with this simple scenario: a walk through a sun drenched meadow, the scent of wildflowers in the air. But instead of just passively watching the scene unfold, Bliss encourages Sarah to engage her senses. Feel the warm sun on her skin. Inhale the earthy perfume of the dirt path beneath her feet. Listen to the bird song flitting through the trees. As she progresses through the story, Sarah encounters a fellow traveler, someone who seems genuinely kind and captivating. Bliss nudges her to explore the feelings this encounter stirs within her. Is it simple curiosity, a spark of attraction, a yearning for connection? Sarah takes her time, allowing herself to feel the flutter in her chest, the quickening of her pulse, without judgment. By the end of the story, Sarah doesn't necessarily have all the answers, but she feels more in touch with her own desires, more attuned to the whispers of her heart. Bliss didn't give her a step-by-step guide to finding the one, but it gave her the space and the tools to reconnect with herself, which ultimately opens the door to more fulfilling connections with others and a greater sense of wholeness. What do you
Wow.
think? Does that
So,
feel like a scenario that resonates with
before
what?
before before going into thinking, I was just diving right into my feelings. And yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you for that, Maya. Well, also we're getting close to the ending of this episode, which is about daily desire rituals. So, how would you sum up what we talked
We've explored.
of, from the perspective of daily desire rituals? How can bliss become part of these daily desire rituals?
Oh, that's a great question. Think of bliss as a pocket sized portal to your inner landscape. Even a few minutes a day can weave it into your daily rhythm. Maybe after your morning coffee, before bed, or even during a lunch break. It's about carving out those little moments for yourself to check in, explore playfully and mindfully. It's a way to spice up those everyday routines. It's not about replacing your other rituals, but adding a layer of playful introspection.
Hey, cool. Cool. Thank you, Maya. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, the one listening on the other end. Um, so
It's
we'll see
been,
you next time.
it was a pleasure diving in with you again, man. See you next time for another dose of blissful exploration.
Yes, Inside Bliss for the next time. See you. Bye.
Bye.